Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little different. Instead of an unboxing, we're going to do a quick side-by-side comparison of Book of Night by Holly Black. We're going to be comparing the Fairyloot edition here with the Illumicrate edition here. There's been a lot of talk about how the differences and the similarities between these and which one's better, which is of course just a matter of opinion. So I'm going to go through and just show the differences and the similarities. So of course, right away we've got the two covers. We've got the Fairyloot here, Illumicrate here. Generally the same, just went with a different color scheme on that. As far as the spines go, compare those as well. There's a look at the spines. Again, same general idea. And again, back of the dust jackets, somewhat similar. And of course the editions are labeled here on the bottom. Not a whole lot going on there, just a different color scheme, a different aesthetic. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the edges, which again, they both went with the black sprayed edges. There's no stenciling or anything. You can see they're all just black all the way around, just like that. So no differences there. The Fairyloot edition actually has a ribbon bookmark. So there's a difference. There is no ribbon bookmark with this one. When we actually open them up, this is where the differences become much more obvious. On the Fairyloot edition, we have a different design than on the Illumicrate edition. I'll just stand both of these up here. Very different. We have a foil design on the Illumicrate edition right here, and we just have, this is more of like a regular printed design. Might be foil. Let me take a look here. Nope, printed design on the hardcover. Foil details, yes. Okay, so they are both foil. This is definitely just a lot more shiny than this here. So there's the front of both of them. We got the spines again. Very different. You got silver on the top and gold on the bottom. And the back of both of the books. Again, you got your Fairyloot edition here, Illumicrate edition here with the silver foil. So there is quite a bit of differences on the printed hardback of both of these. As far as the dust jackets go, it's really easy because there's nothing on the inside of either one of them. So there's nothing to compare there. We've got a blank dust jacket there, and we have a blank dust jacket here. So nothing else going on with that. When we get into the book, in the Fairyloot edition, we have a nice design here on the end papers. And on the Illumicrate edition, we also have a design. Now this to me is the biggest deviation between the two. The Fairyloot edition end papers have a lot more detail and the artwork is beautiful. The Illumicrate edition, much more plain. And you'll see on the back of these, on the Fairyloot edition, we actually have a different set of artwork on the back end papers than the front. And on the Illumicrate edition, we have the exact same repeated design. Again, they're both very nice, very likable, but as far as I'm concerned, the Fairyloot edition definitely won out with that. Neither one of these are signed. There is a digital signature on the Fairyloot edition, which is shown here on this page. Now, what the Illumicrate edition has that the Fairyloot edition does not have is when you open this up, you have a little author letter there in the front. So this is in the Illumicrate edition. Fairyloot edition does not have that. They both say they have bonus content. Now at first, I was thinking that the bonus content was just what was meant by what's here. But now I'm realizing that I think they might both have the exact same bonus content. Because if you flip to the back of the book, there's this little story in the back, that's the Illumicrate edition, and if you go to the Fairyloot edition, it has the exact same story in the back. So I'm thinking that that might be the bonus content that was meant. I'm not 100% sure about that. I tried to look for some kind of confirmation of that, but wasn't really... Actually, I think they're two different ones. Now maybe I did figure it out just by doing the video. The Girl with Three Shadows, that's in the Fairyloot edition. And in the Illumicrate edition, we have The Witch and the Unlucky Brother. So it looks like there's two different short stories in the back of each one. Okay, so they do not have the same bonus content. Very interesting. But I think that was both of the features of each book side by side. I think I went through everything, showed all the differences. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think is the best edition of Book of Night out of these two? Do you think it's the Fairyloot edition or the Illumicrate edition? I hope you enjoyed this little walkthrough of both books. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned because I'm going to have a lot more unboxings coming.